Can't see. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Irish Health Hour Chats. Today I'm delighted to be talking to Eimear Kelly, and she's going to tell us all about Darcy the Dingo. Now myself, I'm very passionate about children's emotional health especially, and my journey with all this started after having my own children. So I'm interested to hear from Eimear in relation to, first of all, she's going to tell us who she is and what she does, and then of course how she got into Darcy the Dingo and all this. Eimear, you're welcome.
Hello, Dolores. How are you? Good morning. Thank you so much for having me join you here on your chats. It's fantastic.
Great to have you on. So who are you and who is this Darcy?
Well, my name is, as you said, Eimear Kelly, and I am mum of 2 kids. And the owner and managing director of Darcy the Dingo. So Darcy basically he's a fun, interactive friend who is there to help children to learn in a fun, new way. I suppose technology is wonderful in so many ways, but it's to kind of help connect with children through letter writing is how it became about initially. So through that, Darcy wants to be able to connect with children. So it could be via the parent, aunt, uncle, whomever. So I suppose to give a background really as to how he started probably makes it easier to understand. As I mentioned, I have 2 children. They are now aged 6 and 4. And when my youngest was born, my brother who lives in Australia, he wanted to be able to connect with the children because being so far away and never having the chance to meet them, he wanted to know who his niece and nephew were.
Sure.
So Darcy was born as such. So what he used to do was send postcards to the kids. Logan would have been around 3 at the time. And he used to love just run into the post box. And he's like, oh, it's a postcard from Darcy. And he'd hear loads of different stories that my brother would have heard about. Maybe something that was achieved, something fun that they did, things like that. So they loved that this character, Darcy, knew all about them. And it's like, how did he know all the way in Australia?
Very good.
Yeah, so it was very exciting for them. And you know yourself, children, they love this kind of thing. They love to be included in different things and know that all these wonderful things have been talked about. So as time progressed, I had written a piece for Mummy Pages. And there was quite a great feedback on that. So as one thing led to another, Darcy the Dingo, the business was born. And so how it began really was then, it's an online subscription service. So from that, the mum, dad, aunt, uncle, whomever it may be, is able to add their personal elements to the subscription. So it could be, let's say, where a child is having difficulties, like let's say with Logan, he was having trouble toilet training. So because we used to Viber images as well, I was there to my brother, quick, get Darcy on the toilet, get Darcy on the toilet.
Right, so actually when you're saying that, it sort of reminds me, I suppose, of the Christmas elf on the shelf in one way, even though I never had one of those guys in my house. But so you're dealing with actually a child where they are at.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And like that, as you say, the elf on the shelf, not something I have. We've a Santa's bird that I grew up with over the years that's in our home. But like that, it's like the elf on the shelf, but he's all year round. And the child has more of a personal element. I mean, the excitement of receiving the letter in the post, it's about them, it's for them. They can learn as well through it. You know, to see that in a child, like I remember as a kid what it was like getting letters in the post. I used to love it. I used to have pen pals write to my cousins and family. Yes. So for a child then, they can connect with Darcy. They can write to him too if they wish. And they can follow his journey as well online because, let's face it, we are in a world of online too. So children can follow his journey, whether it's through blog posts, on social media, obviously with a parent with them, because we have to be obviously wary of the internet. So yeah, it's a way, I'd say, for the child to kind of see, like even Logan, he wouldn't eat a ham sandwich. He wouldn't eat anything but a cheese sandwich. I just got, I'm sick of cheese sandwiches for him. So Darcy had a ham sandwich. Lo and behold, Logan would eat a ham sandwich.
I love it. That's wonderful. So you're a blogger as well, Eimear, isn't that right?
Indeed.
Before this, have you always had an interest in writing and creating and etc., or did you go?
In my younger days, I would have written a bit of my own kind of. I used to love like essay writing and things like that in school, and I used to write poetry for myself even. But over the years, I suppose, as you get older and all these things, some things got pushed into the background. And when I began the blog, which was Chirps from a Little Red Hen, I wanted to be able to, I suppose, connect, find something that was for me, because I took the choice to become a stay-at-home mum. It was a very easy decision in lots of ways, but from obviously financial aspects, you have to give up an awful lot of things.
Yes.
But it's been worth it. Like, so for 6.5 years, I've been home with the kids, and there's days I love it, there's days that you'd love to be back out there, but it is, you see the benefits of it, and we're blessed that we're able to do it. So I suppose the blog began at looking for something for myself, something to kind of have me out there. I knew I wasn't necessarily at the time going to go back to work, because it just wasn't worth it. So that's where the blog itself began. And over time, then obviously Darcy has come through the ranks. So I'm working between the two. And Darcy the Dingo will have a blog page as well, where it'll share different things, like different activities and things like that. Like this week I'll be sharing where we've been sowing seeds for the spring and things like that, which is lovely to be able to do with children.
Absolutely.
They're delighted watching the seeds grow, and there's different things like that. And, you know, so we're trying to take in day-to-day things and simple things. I know it's not easy as parents, especially when you're working full-time, to try and do lots of things for the children. But we do our best as parents to try, and whether it's to do activities and things like that. So it's just to make it simple for parents.
Great. Well, it sounds great. And what do you blog about over at Chirps from a Little Red Hen?
On Chirps from a Little Red Hen, well, it began about the clucks and downs of a stay-at-home mum. My husband's very proud of that line.
It's so very good.
Yeah. And the name even came about that my mother-in-law would always say I could never put, or I'd be able to put teeth in a hen, which I did because I have a dental implant. So there's the big joke there on our family. So I suppose over the years it's kind of changed around in that I thought I'll do reviews of things and things like that. I'm not a beautician. I'm not anything like that at all. I am me. I am who I am. So I suppose when I get the time to blog, it's about day-to-day things of just various challenges. I mean, I suppose over the years, some of that's turned out where we're all trying to lose weight and things like that, and trying to get yourself in the right head space and things like that. It's not easy. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being at home. So it's just kind of the various struggles that could come along in that regard.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. I mean, there's a place for everything. And I mean, that's a huge topic and a huge area that a lot of people are interested in. And, you know, beauty bloggers have their audience, and people that do lifestyle have their audience. And I think it's great. And it sounds like a wonderful blog. And you'll have to tag us more and let us know more so that we can share your blog posts. Because I became a stay-at-home mom as well after my second boy. I didn't plan it that way either. It was the recession hit and my legal job was gone. So yeah, you know, and I started a blog as well. Actually, that time as well. It's funny. It was Holistic Mummy. Now I don't blog there anymore. But like I have evolved as well, let's say. But you know, like that too, I needed to find something for me. Whereas it's a big change when you have been out in the world working for so many years, and then suddenly, and it's not just the money, it's your mindset. So I think the what you blog about is huge, and that there is a huge interest in that, because you know your mindset, especially when you have children and you're at home with your children. We love our children. There's no doubt about that. But by God, it's a different mindset. You know. Anyway, that's been my experience.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. I find you can kind of feel you lose your own identity. I mean, my background would have been in the hospitality industry, and then I progressed onto administration. And that in itself was a challenge, because working in the hospitality industry, which I loved dearly, even though it was crazy hours, people don't see it as having a career outside of it. So I had to try and convince others to allow me to change into administration. And then giving up work to stay at home, it was absolutely the best decision we made as a family, but definitely a very difficult one as time went on, because you do feel you're losing who you are. Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day. I didn't have the school runs then. I just felt, you know, you're sitting in the one spot feeding the child, or you're cleaning up the same thing, and it's just continual, you know. And it's not a case of when Friday arrives, you're going, woohoo, to do the same on Saturday.
Yeah, and Friday comes party time. No.
That's it. And, you know, like motherhood and parenthood, it is just wonderful. To me, it's a true blessing, and I feel very blessed for our 2 children, and touch wood, thank God, they've been very well throughout the years. But you do, you feel you need to have something for you, and it's like I teach the kids, you know, you have to love yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love others, you know, in the same way. And they love that I say that, and they're like, yeah, I know I do love myself, and they'll chat away, and then you go, God, what about me? I have to think of me, you know. And I love, even actually, as the blog had developed and now Darcy the Dingo, how I see the kids, they see the changes and they want to be involved, and they've been printing out colouring pages for them, gutto and everything. So they've stuck around, and you know, so that's wonderful that the children actually understand the changes and that are happening within the home too, in that regard, that it's
absolutely,
they know it's, and for me as well. You know,
yeah,
so,
you know, and like they always say that those people, that children learn more from what we do than what we say, and it's great that you are empowering your children. You know, I mean, to actually, and you're, you know, in a way that to love themselves, and you're empowering them in their mindset, and it's wonderful. Fair play to you. We got our first letter. My son Irla,
fantastic.
As I drop everything, was delighted to get a subscription letter from Darcy the Dingo, and you know, and like. Irla's 9, and I showed you a picture of him. Like the minute he got it, he went down on the ground, and I'm not just saying that to you. He just took to it, because there again, it was he never really got a letter in the post addressed to him with a letter, and he was saying, "Who's this fella Darcy?" Because I hadn't said anything to him about it. Now he does get posts from Lego, you know, he gets his magazine, but the personal touch, I was actually very surprised how he took to it so just instantaneously and was interested. But it's that personal touch, as you say, because it was addressed to him and it was his, and he had his I took that off the fridge, his fridge magnet, and it's his thing. Now his older brother was kind of going, you know, a bit like that, but Irla was kind of going, no, you know, he stood his ground, and he could see that it was for him. Like, it's nothing to do with you, Connell. This is mine. This is for me, for Darcy. So, you know, I think that it's a great service. So, you know, please let us know how we can let people know how they can get hold of it, the subscription.
Absolutely. Well, it's very simple, and we actually have a current, I'll learn to speak again. We have an introductory offer actually on the website. So the website is www.darcythedingo.com. So it's fairly easy to remember. And in there it gives you more of a background as well to me and Darcy the Dingo. But on the shop page then, you have a choice of 4 different subscriptions. The more popular ones tend to be around the 3 to 6 month subscription, which is great that it gives kind of, you know, a good starting point for the children. So within each subscription then, what the child will receive is their introduction letter from Darcy the Dingo. They'll receive, so for example, let's say in a 3-month subscription, they'll receive 2 postcards then every 2 weeks, and then another letter from Darcy with a personal element. And like that then, in each of the letters, there'll be like, you know, colouring pages or activity pages. Also then the likes of things that they can do, so activities that they can do as well. And also then like that little gift too.
Yeah, great. And I was just reading the letter there because, you know, Irla was, how did he know I like chicken? Because Irla does like chicken, you know, because that's obviously what I had told you. And, you know, you mentioned foods that that Darcy liked that Irla doesn't like. But he went, he still read it. But, you know, it's like that. It's like kids often listen to their peers more so than their mothers and dads, you know. So you never know in time. Maybe Irla might start eating bolognese. There you go. That's one thing that he goes, but anyway, lasagnas and all those things that are very easy for mums to make, my lads just won't do it. And you know what, I'm not going to get too worried about it either, because, you know, I hear other people have more difficult challenges with their kids and eating, so it's just one of these things. Irla's Irla, and that's the way it is.
That's it. And you know, gosh, I remember my mother, Lord rest her, she had such a terrible time with me when it came to foods. I was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous when it came to foods. She would cook special dinners for me and for another brother, and how she did it with 4 kids, I have no idea. And she worked full time as well, and a single mum, so fair play to her. And I'm like, I'm so not doing that with my kids. And they're fussy, they've their own little quirks of their own little traits, but you know what, I see how they change as well over the years. Like, certain things Logan wouldn't try, he will now. He's a bit more adventurous. Elise is a very independent young lady. she says no and she means no, and that's it. But I've no doubt over time too, like she'll eventually find her little way, and thankfully over the years I found my way to eat more food than I did as a kid.
And I love that. I love that you like. I just have one of my mottos this year is just surrender and let things flow more. Because when we have this grasp and we think our kids have to do this and they have to eat that and they have to. You know what? Life isn't about that. As you say, you found your own way. You might have been a fussy eater yourself, and our kids will as well. And I think what you're doing is wonderful. And I can just wish you all the success with it. You need to keep tagging us and letting us know more about Darcy. We want to hear more. We want to know what Darcy is doing, and we want to see those seeds he's planting everywhere.
Absolutely. Well, I'll have a blog post up soon regarding that as well, and there is a blog page there, so I'll be continually updating that with various activities. And there's a free download activities page as well of colouring pages and different activities too for people that they can enjoy. And whoever has any questions at all, feel free to message me, and obviously tag me on anything there of any pictures that your kids have coloured too. We love seeing all of that.
Right, great. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to sharing this and to letting the mums of Ireland and the world, which is great, because when we are on the net, it doesn't really matter, I presume, where the children are.
No, absolutely not. We'll travel far and wide, absolutely.
And I think that's wonderful, because that's something I did on my website a few years ago, and I haven't followed on it. I used to do a thing where I used to show seasons from all over the world, and I used to encourage people to send in like that, what it was like in Boston or what it was like in Australia. So you never know, you'll be expanding and doing things like that, I'm sure, as well, because we are global, and that's the wonderful part of the internet. Eimear, thanks very much for coming on and letting us know all about Darcy. And I know for sure anyway that Iarla's looking forward to something in the post from him.
Super. Thanks so much, Dolores. I really appreciate it.
Best of luck with it all, and we'll talk to you again.
Take care. Bye now.